Hi, this is Crazy Tales from the Southwest Backpacker channel, and you're watching IntenseAngler Outdoors Tip of the Week.
Hey there guys, John here of course, and I want to start out today's video by giving you guys just a quick little tip, and that is go check out Crazy Tales here on YouTube, the infamous Southwest Backpacker. If you guys are into backpacking, hiking, or just like the outdoors, you're gonna love his videos, man. He got some of the most beautiful trip videos that I've seen on YouTube. I enjoy watching every one of them. Masterfully put together and just the most beautiful locations. So anyway, go give him a check. Now on to this week's video. You know, on Tip of the Week, we generally try to cover how-tos or projects or little tips that are halfway original, you know, something unique. I like to try to get new information out there or show you guys a new twist on things. Today we're going to keep it kind of basic though, and I wanted to cover a fundamental, and this is related across the board if you spend time in the outdoors. You know, whether it's backpacking, hiking, climbing, camping, whatever it is, it's really relevant to any aspect of the outdoors. And that is, of course, the 10 essentials. And the 10 essentials have been around for quite a while now. They were developed by Mountaineering Club. And it's basically a survival kind of safety items. 10 things that you need with you at all times when you're in the outdoors that kind of cover your bases in the event of an emergency. So anyway, let's take a look at those real quick. Okay guys, before we start digging into the old pack here and going over the items that comprise the 10 essentials, I wanted to take just a second to mention that although every item that I'm going to show you is critical to have along with you on virtually every outing, it does not have to be a big deal to carry them along with you. As you can see, I'm sporting my good old trusty lumbar pack today, and in a lot of cases this is all I will take with me on a day trip. Sometimes all I'll take with me on an overnight trip. Now, first of all, one of the most important things and tops on the list is a map and compass. And you can see just got a good old fashioned compass here, and I typically carry just a small section of map of the area that I'm going to be hiking in. The third item on the list is extra food. I eat a lot typically anyway, but I do like to pack some extra food along with me, so my snack bag's usually really full. I've got some extra Cliff Bars in here, as well as some peanut butter, just some good high energy, high calorie foods. I usually like to keep some other foods such as hard candies or such stashed in my pack or even my jeans pocket. One of the next things that we're going to talk about on the essentials list is sun protection. And one of those items is sunscreen, and the other is good old shades. And you guys see these with me in virtually every video I do, and there's a reason for that. I like to protect my eyes. The next thing we're going to talk about is water. You know, I'll typically carry my water. You always want to carry extra water with you. So I'll carry a bottle there, and in this case I've got my Stanley canteen, which I'll carry water here. And once again, the more multi-purpose items you can have, the better. And in this instance, this pot can double as a means to collect water as well as purify it as well to get even more water in the event of an emergency. The next item is a first aid kit, and it doesn't have to be anything really fancy here. In fact, I've just got a small backpacking first aid kit. It'll cover you know, minor to moderate wounds, the most likely wounds you're going to encounter in the field. Next, of course, is a flashlight. A flashlight or a headlamp, some type of torch is critical and deserves its place on the list by far. You're also going to want a means of starting fire. And the majority of the time, I'll keep a lighter in my pocket at all times. Anytime I am outdoors, I have a lighter with me, period. And I also keep a small fire kit in my pack with me, just generally some type of fire starter, a book of matches, something like that. You know, maybe it could be a flint and steel, whatever it is. Just, I like to carry at least 2 means of starting fire. Moving on to another really critical item on the essentials list is a knife. Now, it doesn't have to be anything big and fancy, and what I typically do is carry my good old multi-tool. In this case, it's just a Skeletal CX, and it's got a nice blade on it. This is going to serve me well in the event that I really need it. Now, is it a survival knife? No, of course not, but it's going to do well. And it also serves double purposes, you know, as tools. So, like I said, can't repeat this enough. The more bases you have covered as far as redundancy, the better off you're going to be equipped. And last but not least here, one of the more important and oftentimes underrated items to carry along is extra clothing. Clothing is shelter. And so as you can see here, it's a nice warm spring day, but I've got a nice small portable microfleece jacket along with me. It just straps on the back of my pack. So I've got a good shell there in case the weather takes a turn. I always keep a good extra pair of socks with me, a good pair of wool socks, something warm, something nice. Lots of times I'm crossing streams, I'm getting my feet wet, and you know how that goes. And then I typically carry, you know, just a small pair of gloves, you know, in weather like this at least. And last but not least, good old bandana, which I just dropped. But of course that's going to keep your head warm as well as serve a multitude of other functions. And that is about all as far as the 10 essentials go, guys. Now, they do recommend that you supplement that. There are additional items that are important to carry along. Sometimes they call them the extra 4 or the extra 5. And we'll talk about a couple of those right now just as a bonus. Now, one of those is relating to water. Water is very critical, as we all know. And so some means of procuring water, much like what I showed you in the fact that I had this stainless steel bottle with me, allows me the options to purify and collect water for backup water source. A lot of times what I will carry with me as well is just a really small water purification system. This one just weighs a couple ounces. It fits in my pack. It's definitely worth its weight in gold as far as keeping that along with me. Another item it's handy to have and is recommended is a good old-fashioned repair kit. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Needle and thread, some duct tape, zip ties, whatever you want to throw in yours. You know, just good all-purpose, can serve first aid needs, things like that, as well as repair your gear and get you back home. So another item that may be overrated, unless of course you've been in the situation before, is some form of bug protection. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been hammered by mosquitoes before, and it is enough to drive you literally crazy. So some form of bug protection, whether it's a small spray bottle or wipes, it just is a lifesaver at times. Next, another item is a signaling device. A signaling device is highly recommended, and in this case I keep just a keychain whistle attached to my pack, so you know, in case I need it, I can signal for help. This one's just kind of a gimmicky little one. It's got a built-in compass, so I got a little redundancy there, and it does have a couple other little doodads on it, but you know, nothing too fancy there. And last but not least here, one of the primary items that could come in handy in the extra 4, extra 5 is some type of shelter. And that can be something as simple as you know, dollar store emergency poncho, or something more elaborate like a small backpacking tarp. You know, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that you can rig up in the event that you're caught out overnight or in a nasty storm. And of course with that, you're gonna need some cordage, so just some good old 550 cord there. And that is about it, guys. Those are the 10 essentials plus 5. Well, that's about all we got for today, guys. Like I said, nothing really original here today. Just wanted to cover that fundamental. You know, we need to do that once in a while. Just kind of take a refresher course, if you will. And like I said, there's some of you that are new to the sport that need this information. So hopefully it has helped. And before we go, I do want to say thanks once again to my buddy Crazy Tails over there at Southwest Backpacker for taking the time to put together this week's intro. That rock, brother. Big thumbs up to you, Matt. And the rest of you guys, I want to say thanks a lot for all the encouragement and support that you continue to extend my way. And until next time, we'll be seeing you guys later.